A golf ball has to do a few different jobs. When you hit it with a driver, it should launch high, fly straight, but without too much backspin, because you're trying to get the ball to roll out for maximum distance. Too much backspin and it would balloon. But on shots around the greens, more backspin is good. It helps you be more precise because it can help the ball drop and stop as quickly as possible. It used to be that no golf ball could accomplish each of those things, to ramp up spin on the shorter shots while controlling spin on the longer one. But nowadays, thanks to a concept called spin slope, high-performance golf balls can. To find out more about what spin slope is and how it works, I paid a visit to Titleist Performance Center in Massachusetts. Mike, how are you?
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Welcome to Manchester.
If I'm a golfer who's never heard the term spin slope before, what is it in a nutshell?
So in general, every time you hit a golf ball with a golf club, it's going to spin. Spin slope is really the differential between long game spin and short game spin. Because from a performance standpoint, one of the things we're always thinking about is how do you lower long game spin off the driver for extra distance, and how do you increase short game spin around the green for extra performance? And it's really the differential of those two that creates the steeper spin slope.
How do you do this with one golf ball? Like, how do you give me two different spin profiles with the same ball that I'm hitting throughout my round?
It's a great question. And that's really where the multi-layer construction of Pro V1 comes into play. So the Pro V1 is a 3-layer construction. It's got a soft, fast polybutadiene rubber core. It's got a stiff ionomer casing layer over the top of that and a really soft cast polyurethane cover on top. And it's the difference between the layers that is really the science behind the spin slope. So you're hitting a driver. When you hit that driver, you have a very normal contact with the golf ball. It's really high speed. And in that interaction, the cover of the golf ball is playing very little into what the eventual spin is going to be coming off of that. Most of that collision is driven by that stiff casing layer and that really soft core. And when you have a stiff layer over a soft layer, spin tends to go down. So when you're hitting with a driver, you get relatively low spin. As you get closer to the green, the opposite happens. You have slower speeds, you have clubs that are coming in at more of an oblique angle, right? It's more of a glancing tangential blow on the golf ball. And in that case, the core ends up playing less of a role, and most of the interaction is driven by that soft cover over that stiff casing layer. And when you have a soft material over hard material, that tends to make spin go up. So it's the balance between the dimensions of all the layers, the materials, the hardnesses, and everything within that golf ball really changes when that spin is going to start to accelerate within the bag and become higher.
So the question is, how do you know what type of spin slope is best for your game? Mike recommends going to the Titleist website and scheduling a ball fitting session, and his big piece of advice is to remain open-minded, because you may find out that you need a ball model that's very different than the one you're currently playing. For instance, if you're a slow swing speed golfer, you're not generating that much backspin. You may not realize it, but you may be a really good candidate to start playing a Pro V1X, because that will put your spin slope in a way better spot. You can stay low spin off the tee and generate more backspin around the greens, which will really help you. To demonstrate the difference between a ball that has a steep spin slope and one that doesn't, Mike had me hit shots on a launch monitor with the Titleist Pro V1 multi-layer performance ball and with the Titleist Velocity, which is a 2-piece distance ball. I started with short wedge shots and worked my way through the middle of the bag and then finished with my driver. The difference in spin on my 60-yard pitch shots was rather startling. 7,000 to 8,000 RPMs with the Pro V1 compared to 4,000 to 5,000 RPMs with the Velocity model. With a mid-iron, the numbers got a lot closer, 6,500 versus just under 6,000. And then we move up to a driver.
Yeah, so let's hit some drivers now.
And with a driver, the spin performance became eerily similar.
The spin between those two shots were literally exactly the same.
Yeah, but
28, 28, 28. It's a pretty fascinating example of when you get to the driver, the differences in spin between these golf balls tighten up quite a bit, and that's by design.
So it turns out playing a ball with a steep spin slope really helps you perform better both off the tee and into the green, and not just if you're a tour player, but also for high handicappers. And while a premium performance golf ball like the Pro V1 might come at a higher price than a two-piece distance ball, you can see why. For many people, it's worth it because it's a better fit. And when you think about it, it really is like you're getting two different golf balls in one design.